Hi, it's Dr. Spears with drpremed.com, and I had something very interesting happen to me that has happened to me in the past, but I thought I would bring it up to you guys who are pre-med, want to get into medical school, and that has to do with the issue of being a college age student and you having one set of agendas, objectives, or goals that you want for yourself, whereas your parents have a different set of objectives for you. And what happened is a lot of times you're pre med, and sometimes not by choice. Your parents tell you that you need to take these pre med courses because they want you to go to medical school. They want you to be a doctor. They talk about like the job security, the prestige, the status, and everything that comes along with that. But maybe you're a student, you're really kind of on the fence, and you're not sure if this is what you want to do or anything like that. And I can tell you from experience, I remember when I was doing one of my, what was it, third year rotations. I was working with one of the physicians, and they had their daughter had just started out in college, a freshman in college, and the doctor was like, my daughter, she doesn't know this yet, but she's going to be a doctor. And the reason she was saying this is because she was like, I don't care what my daughter wants to major in college or whatever, but she's definitely taking those pre-med classes. I have her enrolled in general chemistry and biology freshman year. That's just non-negotiable. She's like, if I'm the one who gives her her credit card, I'm the one paying her bills, and I'm basically paying her rent and everything like that, then I have this right or this parental ability to go and say, this is what you're going to do because this is what I'm providing for you. And I know a lot of students, they're in that situation where it's basically they're ambient about going to medical school, ambient about even going to a particular college that their parents want them to do because they just feel that they would be disowned from their parents if they didn't go to a particular school or whatever. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about that. My parents have been very accommodating, very supportive of me in this process of becoming a doc. And I just remember, if you guys don't know this, but my mom went to Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. So like she's always talked so highly about Northwestern University, and she also talks about like how rigorous academics were and everything like that at Northwestern. And so growing up, we made trips out to Chicago, Evanston to see the campus and everything like that, and just Northwestern Wildcats and everything. And I played football in high school, and so I'm not like the biggest imposing person at all. That's like totally not the case. And so I got some recruiting offers, and one of them was actually from the University of Chicago. They gave me like a full ride to go to their college to play football. And I told my mom about this, and she was like, Jason, I just don't know about that. Because I grew up in Pennsylvania, so we lived in Pennsylvania, and she's like, I just kind of live with myself to see you in Chicago, that close to Northwestern and not at Northwestern. And so that was a big issue. But and then even another thing about that is even when you think about like the financing of your undergrad education, where if I played football, I've already got a full ride, and Northwestern, they're a different story. I'm not going to play Division I football. I don't have the height, the size, or all of that to be out there, and so then there's like the financial aspect of it. And Northwestern, they only do need-based financial aid. Their reason, I remember this, it was either at an admissions meeting or like the beginning of like freshman year, they told us, they're like, people ask us, how come we don't give out scholarships to the people coming to Northwestern? And they say that everybody who gets into Northwestern is extremely bright, extremely the best at what they do, and it would be impossible for us to give out a merit-based scholarship because everybody who we admit is deserving of a merit-based scholarship. And so that's what they do in regards to that. And I guess I took another loss in this too by going to Northwestern, but we'll get back to that because I've always been into cars. I've always been into like the luxury cars and everything like that. And I was in high school, I was driving with my dad the one time or whatever, and he was like asking me like, "Oh, what does BMW stand for?" and everything like that. I told him like the German name for it and everything like that, and then he joked back with me. He goes, "No, it stands for black man working or whatever." So that was his joke. But then he went on to say that if you get a full ride to college or whatever, he goes, "I'll buy you a BMW or whatever car you want." And I was like shocked by that. He goes, "Yeah, because it'd be cheaper than paying for college or whatever." And obviously with Northwestern, that didn't happen because they only give need-based financial aid, which is based on like what your when you fill out your financial aid application of FAFSA, your parents' income, and then they do that. They tell you how much the school is going to give you, how much you're going to get in like government loans or whatever. So I didn't do that, but everything worked out because I never felt pressure to go to Northwestern, and Northwestern has been the greatest experience for like college and academics. I would definitely do it again. And on that day when I have kids or whatever, I will kind of encourage them to invest in going to Northwestern for their undergrad education. I'm not going to be one like, oh, you absolutely must go to Northwestern or anything like that. But I think I went there, my mom went there, and so just having that like legacy thing is going to be great. And I'd be really happy if they did, but I'm not going to force it on them. And so I'm just curious about if you guys have any things being like at this young age where you're 18, getting your independence and trying to figure out what you want to do, and just kind of a little bit, do you have to push back against your parents in certain regards and say, no, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it regardless? Or is it going to be more of, okay, mom and dad have the keys or the strings to the purse, whatever that saying is. And so I just have to do what they're going to have me do because they control the finances and they like just run the ship and are in charge of everything. And I'm kind of at their mercy and whim for that. And I've seen people who get into medical school and you can tell they just hate it. They're only there because their parents told them that they need to do this for their job security and things like that. And they're just not happy in it. And you should not live your life to be doing what somebody else wants you to do, their expectations for you. And at the same time, I also have other students who are a little bit on the fence, not sure what they want to do, and maybe want to do medicine, maybe not, but parents are physicians and they kind of like talk them into doing it or whatever. And they might be a little bit ambient, but once they get in there, they really enjoy it. Or you're the other way, they get in there and they totally hate it. So there's just so many different backgrounds going into the situation, medical school, becoming a doctor, and all the things that you have. And I just see so many stories where like parents put this pressure on their kids to become doctors. I think some of that has to do is just with parents because there's bragging rights involved with it, the prestige, like, oh, I'm a better parent than somebody else. My son or daughter is going to be a doctor, a physician, and like bragging rights. Because I know one of the cardiologists at the hospital, he was like actually disappointed his daughter got into like one of those combined BSMD programs, but then some of the neighbors, they got into Harvard, and so he felt disappointed in his daughter not getting into like an Ivy League school, even though she got this like pre-matriculation program for medical school. And he's like, I can't turn around and tell her you should have worked harder in high school, you should have done more and stuff like that. But you could tell like he was disappointed in that, and then you have like parents who do that type of stuff. And quick story about myself, I'm an identical twin, so it's me and then my brother. And so my brother, he's a lawyer, he's an attorney. And so we're twins. So you have one who's a physician and you have one's a doctor. And as soon as people hear that, the first thing that comes out of their mouths is, oh, wow, your parents must be so proud of you. And so that's kind of some of the impetus that parents have for this stuff. They want to be pride. They want to make sure you're secure in life. They want to make sure that you have a good future. You don't have to worry about things. But then it's a little bit of the parental bragging rights and stuff like that. That's also thrown in there too for the status and everything like that. But everybody approaches things differently. My parents definitely did not like, oh, we're going to have a son is a doctor, a son who's a lawyer. That wasn't their agenda going into things or whatever. And so that's just what it is, just the nature of the beast. I'm just curious. Leave a comment. I want to hear your feedback on what's driving you to go into medicine, or are you being forced into medicine? How's your relationship with your parents in regards to things and the pursuing a career or even college, and what type of influence are they having on you in regards to that? So this is Dr. Speed of drpremed.com. So go ahead, leave some comments and feedbacks. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say in regards to that and the influence of parents and your future.